bachelors with that very special blood thinner they've been longing for. That's right, we create magic here on the Coagulation Connection. Let's meet our lonely bachelor, shall we? Paul is a 24-year-old crane operator with a myriad of medical conditions in need of some pharmaceutical attention. He spends his free time mapping arteries and checking capillary refill. Paul's likes include perfusion, moving forward, and the color red. His dislikes include fibrin and side effects, and he's looking for a med that can go with the flow. Let's hear it for Paul. Are you ready to meet our lovely anticoagulants? All right, first we have Warfriend, a sexy little blood thinner who can go with you anywhere. She's a little high maintenance, but once you get her just right, she'll stay with you a long, long time. Let's have a round of applause for our provocative Warfriend. Next we have Everett. This hot little blood thinner has been around quite a while, but don't let that fool you. She needs to be used frequently because she doesn't stick around long. And trust me, folks, treat her wrong and you'll have some nasty side effects on your hands. Let's hear it for our seductive fireball, Everett. All right, now that we know our participants, let's get this game started. Okay, first question, ladies. No one can be on all the time, so tell me, when is a good time to bring you out to play? Warfriend, we'll start with you.
I like to be with a guy when his heart is racing, like during AFib. I also like the heart-stopping thrill of an MI or the breathtaking adventure of a pulmonary embolism. But I'm also down for a man with prosthetic heart valves or a good old-fashioned DVT.
Exciting. Catherine, when do you come out?
Oh, I can handle all that and more. I can also ride the roller coaster of DIC and help with cleaning that dirty old blood with hemodialysis. I'll be there when your heart is in their hands during cardiac surgery or if your IBD starts giving you a hard time. And I can take on clogged IV catheters, phlebitis. You see, I'm a little more flexible than my counterpart.
Ooh, and the claws come out already. Let's hear what Paul has to say. Paul?
Well, both sound like they're up for a little excitement. But heparin definitely does have a wild side. And let's be honest, what man doesn't like a wild side?
Paul's interest is already peaked, but it's still early. So let's move on to the next question, shall we? Heparin, we'll start with you on this one. What are your turnoffs? What makes you think twice before connecting with the patient?
Oh, I can't stand people who are bleeding unless they have DIC. It's so messy. In fact, if you have anything that might cause bleeding, you might want to be careful with me. And I don't really like thrombocytopenia very much either. Oh, and if I have a little alcohol in me, you know, benzyl alcohol, then you better keep me away from babies, nursing moms, and pregnant ladies. I get a little crazy. And I stay away from aspirin because I never have a headache.
I see. And how about you, Warfriend?
Oh, I don't like bleeders either, or aneurysms, or anesthesia. I mean, who wants to deal with someone who sleeps all the time? Also, blood dyscrasias are a problem. I need someone who's got enough cells that can handle me. I also don't do bacterial endocarditis or pregnancy. But I'm not as cold-hearted as some. Since I don't ever have alcohol in me, if a mom needs to breastfeed her child, that's fine with me. Just limit the vitamin K foods and cranberry products. They're real downers.
Well, well. Sounds like both these ladies are a little picky. Paul, what do you have to say?
Well, Amy, normally I don't do picking, but I think I can handle a drug that is a little finicky. In fact, I kind of like a drug that knows what it wants.
Ooh, and our eligible bachelor is still in the game, ladies and gentlemen. Excellent. Okay, Paul, this is the point where you can start asking questions of your own. What would you like to ask these two vixens first? We'll start with Warfriend.
First, good morning, ladies. Well, my last medication I was on had a real ugly side to her. I was just wondering, can you tell me a little bit about your dark sides?
Warfriend?
Well, if anything goes wrong between us, your heart may bleed for me. And sometimes I can make you pull your hair out. But the worst is when guys tell me they die a little bit inside or outside. Pretty much tissue can die a little bit anywhere on their body. Some patients are just hypersensitive.
Well, way to pass the buck there. How about you, Heparin? I bet you can really get them going.
Oh, you know it. I cause bleeding hearts too, of course. And I may cause thrombocytopenia and some guys really are hypersensitive. But with me, you also want to watch your liver. My idea of entertainment can really raise those liver enzymes.
Interesting nugget to chew on. Paul?
That's good to know. At least I know what to watch out for. Nothing I can't handle. But now I'm wondering, ladies, how much of you can I handle?
Your answer first this time, Hepburn.
As strong and capable as you are, I'm sure you could only take 4,000 to 10,000 units every 4 to 8 hours. Any more of me and you'd be hurting. But you can tell for sure by checking your ADPT. You'll want to keep it around 1.5 to 2 times normal.
Ooh. And you, Warford?
Oh, you only need 2 to 10 milligrams of me a day, because a little of me goes a long way. You usually want to keep your INR between 2 and 3.
How enticing. Paul really has his work cut out for him with these medications. Okay, now I have a few more questions, ladies. Let's get to know you a little better, shall we? Warford, tell me, do you have any aliases or nicknames?
I also go by Jantivin, but almost everyone I know calls me Coagula.
Okay. Hepburn, how about you?
I have a lot of nicknames. Depending on where I am, people call me Heplock, Hepflush, Lovenox, Fasties, Monoject, or Possumflush.
Well, okay, Paul, now you have enough to Google the heck out of them.
Oh, and I definitely will.
Okay, ladies, another question. Let's say Paul wants to plan a date. How fast can you get here and how long will you stay? Hepburn, why don't you start?
Oh, if given IV, I can be there immediately. But if given sub-Q, I'll need a little more time, like 20 to 60 minutes. I'll tell you now, though, my half-life is only an hour or 2. I'm a busy girl.
You can have her now, but not for long. And you, Warfriend?
Well, if you give me by mouth, which most people do. By IV, I can move a little faster. Trust me though, I'm worth the wait. Once I'm there, I'll stick around for a while, unlike others. In fact, my effective half-life is about 40 hours. I just don't do quickies.
Well, you have an interesting choice here. Will you take the instant gratification Hepburn offers, even if it is short-lived? Or will you opt to wait a little longer for a more committed rendezvous with Warfriend? Tell me, Paul, are good things really worth the wait?
Most definitely they are. But you know, Amy, you see, on one hand, I love the impulsive whirlwind adventure that Hepburn kind of brings to the table. But on the other hand, I do like the commitment possibilities with Coumadin. You know, I don't want to choose just yet. I think I'll wait and see what these 2 drugs can bring to the table.
Ladies and gentlemen, Paul has decided to pick Coy for now. Let's see what else we can dig up for him. Ladies, before we demonstrate exactly how you like to be treated, I have one more question. Let's say you're out with the patient and they've had a little too much. If something goes wrong, how can they fix the relationship? Warfriend?
Well, remember when I said I hate vitamin K? It's because it brings me down. But if you can't handle me, then I guess it can be a good thing. It all depends. If your INR is less than 9 and there's no real bleeding going on, I'll probably just stay home for a day or 2, and you may or may not need some oral vitamin K. But if you are bleeding, I'll stay home for a while, and you can have IV vitamin K, maybe some fresh frozen plasma or factor 7, until your bleeding is under control.
Well, that sounds easy enough to manage. Hepburn?
It all depends on how worked up I get you. Either way, treatment is symptomatic and supportive. If you're mildly to moderately toxic, you'll need some IV fluids and maybe some vasopressors. If you're really toxic, you'll need that and maybe a transfusion. But at that point, I'll just leave and you can call protamine sulfate. I can't stand her. She interferes with my game.
Okay. Paul seems both these ladies are going to make it right. What do you think?
I think I can handle either one of them. No sweat at all.
Check out the confidence, ladies and gentlemen. That concludes the question and answer session of our show. Let's have a round of applause for all 3 guests. And now we move on to the demonstration portion of the show with our lovely showgirls, Valerie and Kendra. Tell us how to manage warfarin.
Okay, Paul. Well, first, if you want to take Coumadin orally, you have to check your INR, and of course, you want to make sure it's between 2 and 3.